In the end, there is no absence of irony. The integrity of what is sacred to Native Americans will be determined by the government that has been responsible for doing everything in its power to destroy Native American cultures. The Western has always been, for me, the bread and butter. It's the easiest place for an identifiable Native American to be able to work. But I do yearn to be known as an actor rather than a Native American actor. On the first season of our show, I commissioned a Native American artist to make up, 'cause I'm known for the tomahawk, besides the hair and the leather outfit and the whole thing. The March on Washington was a march for jobs and freedom. There are still too many people who are unemployed or underemployed in America. They're black, white, Latino, Native American and Asian American. The Native American side was tragic. It's just unbelievable what has happened to them. My Native American heritage was not embraced by our family, and we grew up African American, so I didn't have a lot of access or history to that line of my family. The Native American has been generally despised by his white conquerors for his poverty and simplicity. I think people should look at learning about Native American history the same as visiting Washington, D.C., and seeing the monuments there. It's all part of the package. Some Native American writers enjoy being called Native American writers. When you start to look at Native American history, you realize that, very far from being a peaceful, morally superior people, Native Americans were not that different from Europeans. In more recent years, I've become more and more fascinated with the indigenous folklore of this land, Native American folklore, and also Hispanic folklore now that I live in the Southwest. I'm Native American, so it's in my blood to always want brothers and friends. I'm a good brotherhood guy. There aren't very many notable Native American female figures historically. That's the way that it's been. Pocahontas and Sacagawea. I've got tons of Aboriginal and Native American art, but I'd like even more. Instead of kids just hearing about beads and baskets and fringe, and about what was and were, we present Native American culture as a living contemporary culture. Speed is scarcely the noblest virtue of graphic composition, but it has its curious rewards. There is a sense of getting somewhere fast, which satisfies a Native American urge. I'm very much involved in art. I started buying art a few years ago and really like the work of T.C. Cannon, who is a Native American artist. Then I was introduced to Soviet-era Russian Impressionism and started collecting that, especially Gully Korzhev. Nobody else in the world has a form like the Native American musical, and Americans should be very proud. I'm Native American, so the racial thing kind of hits home with me. We use a Native American tradition of the talking stick. You sit and pass it around and whoever has the stick has to talk. Some people just hold it. Others really share. American food is the food of immigrants. You go back a couple of hundred years, and we were all immigrants, unless we're going to talk about Native American cuisine. Black women, I'm talking to you, because it's not white women, it's not Latino, it's not Native American. I checked, it's y'all. The self-hate is ridiculous. Why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you hate your texture? Why do you hate your culture? Why do you hate your history? This is going to sound weird, but when I was a kid my old man used to tell us that he was a Sioux Indian warrior in his former life. Native American culture was always big in my house, I don't know why. Most of my younger Native American friends are not in any way looking for sympathy, and they're not looking to lay guilt on anybody. They have their dignity, and they do what they do. I started collecting aerial photographs of Native American and South Pacific architecture, only the African ones were fractal. And if you think about it, all these different societies have different geometric design themes that they use. So Native Americans use a combination of circular symmetry and fourfold symmetry. On the Native American front, we have turned a new page in the 400-year history of the interface between the American settlers of this country and the nation's first Americans. That's included a new relationship where the sovereignty of tribes is in fact recognized. 60% of all Indians live in urban areas, but nobody's writing about them. They're really an underrepresented population, and the ironic thing is very, very few of those we call Native American writers actually grew up on reservations, and yet most of their work is about reservations. I see Americans of every party, every background, every faith who believe that we are stronger together, black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, young, old, gay, straight, men, women, folks with disabilities, all pledging allegiance under the same proud flag to this big, bold country that we love. That's what I see. That's the America I know. Since its inception, the government has broken and coerced treaties with hundreds of Native American tribes. And this is even worse when you realize that the native peoples of this land are negotiating for land that is, by all common sense and elementary school logic, their land. One of the things I've been taught by Native American elders is the importance of patience, of waiting to do things when the time is right. I'm a Native American actress. An awareness reached across America that if Native American people had to resort to arms at Wounded Knee, there must really be something wrong. From the newest arrivals to our Native American brothers and sisters, we are one America. I'm very aware of my own background. I'm Irish, French, and then a little bit of everything else thrown in, ranging from German to Native American. We're talking about tiny drops of blood. I was inspired by Colin Farrell in the fact that he's Irish and has freckles but with black hair. I'm a bunch of different things, Irish, Polish, Native American, and French, but I wanted to tap into that Irish side and be freckle-y with black hair, so that's what I did. I wanted in my lifetime to vote for a radical Native American woman, since my vision of any future that we might have is that it will be led by women and older women. November is Native American Heritage Month, and a good time to honor the legacy of our ancestors. But every day we should stop to think about our country's beginning and that the United States would not exist if not for a great deal of sacrifice, blood, and tears by Indian tribes across the country. I've hung out and performed with many Native American musicians, and my experience is that the first peoples of this land are incredibly open, warm and forgiving. All of the guests on Faces of America were deeply moved by what we revealed about their ancestry. We were able to trace the ancestry of Native American writer Louise Erdrich back to 438 AD. We found that Queen Noor is descended from royalty, and that's before she married King Hussein of Jordan. I like Celtic folk music, Native American music, and any kind of early music. There isn't a lot of music that I don't like, except for show tunes. The Native American cultures on this continent, most of them, were matrilineal, and some women were the chiefs. Societies were about balance. Through the years, I found we had Native American blood in us. My great-grandmother came from the island of Martinique, and they hooked up with the Native Americans of Louisiana. I have an interest in Native American artifacts, mainly Plains Indians from the 1840s to the 1900s, and I go in and out of that. I get really into it, and then I put it down, but it's surrounding me. People want to say that they're part Native American or mixed, or anything other than black. We're raised to believe that there's something better about not being fully black, something eccentric about it. I'm saying I used to tell girls that I was mixed, which is a bold-faced lie. Quakers are known for wanting to give back. Ban the bomb and the civil rights movement and the Native American struggle for justice, those things were very, very front burner in my childhood. As were the ideas of working for peace, and if you have more than you need, then you share it with people who don't. Music is a performing art, as any Native American will tell you. It isn't there in the score. The most common trait of all primitive peoples is a reverence for the life-giving earth, and the Native American shared this elemental ethic. The land was alive to his loving touch, and he, its son, was brother to all creatures. The realization of a sustainable economic development strategy for Maine's Native American communities has always been a priority and a critical element of my administration's overall economic development strategy. Last year, I twice voted against the Labor, HHS, and Education Appropriations Bill because it did not adequately fund education in general, and Native American programs specifically. The name Crow was inspired by a number of things. I thought it would be cool to have a robot with sort of a Native American feel to it. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.